Okay, so we are in Shar Dalet, so we're up to Perek Yud Beis, and we're talking about the Nefesh HaChaim's approach to Limud HaTorah, right? We're talking about that somebody who learns Torah taps into the kind of the highest levels of the highest reach of a human being towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? And then in Perek Yud Beis, he begins one second. Right, so he taps into my Bereshis, right? That's the last thing we said. I think that the Torah precedes the creation. So somebody who learns the Torah goes back to the beginning, to the earliest kind of blueprints of creation. Okay, and then he says in Perek Yud Beis, we're just going to read this first paragraph, and I think we're going to skip the rest. So v'kol sheken chidushim amitim. We started, I think, last time. V'kol sheken chidushim amitim deraisa, and so that's so till now what he was talking about is just learning the Torah. Now there's even a higher level is when a person is zoicha, when a person merits to that new chidushim, new ideas, or new layers of understanding of the Torah are expressed through him. Right? V'kol sheken chidushim amitim. So kol sheken those true Torah chidushim, the araisa, hamischadshim alidei ha'odem, that are innovated through this person. Ein aroich legoidol neurois niflois in yonim upulosum l'mayla. There is no measurement to the great and powerful and wonderful impact up above. Shekol milo protis, because every single word hamischadeshes mipi ha'odem, that is new from the mouth of a person, kutshabrichu noshiklo, HaKadosh Baruch Hu kisses it, ume'ater lo, and crowns it, v'nivna mimenu oilam chodesh b'fnei atzmai, and that single word creates a whole new world, right? So v'hein hashamayim achadoshim ha'oretz achadosh ha'shemar, right? The pasuk says that in the future Hashem will build new heavens and new earth. So those new heavens and new earth, those are built with the chidushay Torah that a person is able to be mechadish. So if a person zoicha to such a level that where he could be mechadish his own divrei Torah, and right, we say everybody has a chelik in the Torah. So therefore, each one of us has a certain chidush that has to come out through that person. So if a person is zoicha to express that chidush, so that he has a hand in the creation of olam haba, and the new heavens and the new earth that's going to come out. Okay? Now, then he brings, now in Perek Yud Beis, he brings a lengthy excerpt from the Zohar. Okay? And which basically proves his point, right? This is the standard Nefesh HaChaim, that when he says something, he brings a bunch of Mamorei Chazal, statements from Chazal that prove his point. So there's a lengthy Zohar over here that says this. I don't know, maybe because it's like Boimer tomorrow, we should read the Zohar. I don't know. Right? I don't know. Okay, let's just read a few lines just because it's like Boimer tomorrow. So Kamash Kosov Ba'agdomas HaZohar, Dav Dalim at Beis, Rabbi Shimon Posach, Rabbi Shimon, right? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Posach, he began, V'osim Devorai Bificha. The Pasuk says, and I will place my words into your mouth, right? Hashem is talking to Yeshaya Nov, and he says, V'osim Devorai Bificha, I will place my words into your mouth. Kama Islay Levarnash, how much is it important Levarnash, to a person, Lishtadolo Be'araisa, to put his effort into Torah, Yemama V'Leilio, day and night. Begin because the Kutshabrichu Tzayis Lekolehon the Inun Misaski Be'araisa. Kadosh Baruch Hu listens to the voices of those that are learning Torah. Ubechol Mila the Ischadish, and every word that is new, Be'araisa in the Torah, Al Yodo Dahu, in that word, the Al Yodo Dahu the Ishtadal Be'araisa, through the person that put his effort into the Torah, Ovid Rakia Chada. Hashem creates a new heaven. Tnan We learned Ba'ahu Shaita the Mila de Araisa is Chadash Mipumi de Barash. From that moment that in that moment that a person innovates this word from, and it comes out from his mouth, Hahi Mila Salka, that Mila, that word goes up, Veisatodas Kamet Kuchabrichu, and it established before HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kuchabrichu Notilahu Mila, HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes that word V'noshik La and kisses it, V'oter La and crowns it, B'shivin Atrin Glifinu Mechakikin, with 70 crowns that are engraved. I don't know what glyphin is. Glyphin is second. It's another word for different types of engraving. Okay. All right. So let's leave it at that. Okay. So we see that this idea that he came up with it comes from the Zohar. Okay. That's where we get. So we skip to the next. Then he has a similar idea expressed in Shir HaShirim, in the Medrash of Shir HaShirim. Okay, again, let's skip it. And okay, let's see what else. So let's see this last piece. Ubetana de Be'eliyahu. Again, it's the same idea, but it's a shorter. So Ubetana de Be'eliyahu. Now, still towards the end of your days, the last paragraph. Well, by me it's broken up into paragraph, but it'll be right here somewhere.
This is
it would be right here. Ubetana de Be'eliyahu. Right here. Ubetana de Be'eliyahu. Valanachal yale al sefosoi mizeh umizeh kol eitz ma'achol. So the pasuk says that upon this brook, Nachal, on its edge, on the edge of this brook, yale mizeh umizeh, from each side will go up, kol eitz ma'achol, a fruit tree. Uperish shom kol zeh kosuv al divrei Torah. And the Talmud of Eliyahu expresses that this pasuk is really talking about divrei Torah. Ve'omer shom ma'u lechadosh vivaker. And Hashem will look into the new things. Right? I guess that's a continuation of that pasuk. Lemechad Torah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will visit those that mechadesh, that innovate in the Torah. Shemechadchen as Torah b'chol yom tamid, that they renew the Torah each and every day. Levein shu b'chor, and it's compared levaker over there. It means from the word b'chor, to make first. Levenshul b'chor, it's compared to a person who is the firstborn. Shemechadash divrei Torah, she'akol smeichin boy. When he's mechadash divrei Torah, everybody is happy in him. Simcha mischadash loy le'ovi b'chol yom, because the happiness is made new for his father each and every day. B'chol mokom shemechadash Torah b'yeshivas beis haknesses, b'yeshivas beis hamedrash, or any place that divrei Torah mischadash, well, people gather in the shuls and then beis botim medrashim. Simcha mischadesh la'Kadosh Baruch Hu b'chol yom tamid. Happiness is renewed in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So in other words, a person who's mechadesh divrei Torah is bringing nachas ruach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu from his creation, so he reestablishes the creation and keeps it fresh, keeps it alive. Okay, so let's go Perek Yud Gimel. So val yidei esek haTorah HaKadoshah, through the involvement of Torah HaKadosh, of the Holy Torah, Nishlam Kavanoso Yisborach Babriya. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Kavana, meaning HaKadosh Baruch Hu's intent, HaKadosh Baruch Hu's reason for creating the world is made perfect, is made complete. Right? Shehoyarak b'shvil HaTorah sheyasku bo Yisrael. Because the purpose is really only for the Torah that Jews should be involved in. Right. Okay. So again, this is a much more yeshivish, so to speak, approach. Right. Getting back just into the feeling of the Nefesh HaChaim. Right. What's the purpose of the world? What's the purpose of the world? Right. So the purpose of the world is for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We know from the Sforim Ramchal, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to create a bria, a creation, upon whom He can bestow goodness. Right. Infinite goodness. But in order to achieve that infinite goodness, he had to create kind of a challenge for that person to earn that infinite goodness. And for that we have mitzvahs, right? Doing the Ratzon Hashem. So so some people will say, well, what creates Ratzon Hashem? Mitzvahs. When you do the commandments that Hashem wants you to do, that creates the Ratzon Hashem. Torah, that's just there to help you know how to fulfill those commandments, right? Says the Nefesh HaChaim that no, that's not the case. That's not the case. The best way to achieve the end result that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted from this world is Torah. Rak b'shvil HaTorah sheyasku b'Yisrael. It's only because of the Torah that the Jews should be learning. K'ma'amorim zal, as we see from this famous statement, Bereshis, right? The first word in the Torah, Bereshis, in the beginning, says Rashi, right? B'shvil HaTorah, for the sake of the Torah, right? Which is called Reshis. So B'shvil Yisrael, and for the sake of Klal Yisrael, which is called the Reshis. And also the Medrash Rashi doesn't bring this. B'shvil Moshe, shehu hasar sur beKabbalas HaTorah, because he's the agent, he's the intermediary that created the Kabbalas HaTorah. Ukaviyochel hu yizbarach sameach b'masav ba'olamai u'b'ryosim. And it is, as much as we can say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is rejoicing with his creations and with the world that he created, right? Through the Torah. Why? Shema'alim chein lefonav yizbarach, because they bring favor into his eyes. Kishor rishoyna be'es habriya, as to the very moment when the world was just created. As if HaKadosh Baruch Hu was hoping for that very moment. So it's a return to that first glimpse of creation when everything is good and perfect. So it's to return to that perfection, and that's what the Torah brings. It's a mashal for a king that built a palace. He saw the palace of Orvala, and it was sweet to him, it was pleasant to him. Omar, paltin, right? This beautiful palace. I wish you could bring me such joy all the time. So to Hashem says to his world, Oilomi, my world, my world. I wish that you will bring favor before me, nachas, right? Bring me nachas all the time. Just like I derived such benefit and pleasure, again, from that moment of creation, so I wish I could see that chen all the time, continuously. So when in the same thing, when the Mishlei praises the Torah, it calls the Torah ayelas oiha ahovim vayalas chen. Yalas chen meaning, Yalas chen, I think over there means Yael, means like a Ayel. Again, these are Ayelas is a mountain goat, I think. Yael is another mountain goat, right? But but Yael also means to go up, right? So Yalas chen, Torah brings up chen, brings up grace, brings up favor, right? Ubezoyer tzav posach Rabbi Elazar v'omer. Again, in that pasuk, and I will place words into your mouth. Taninan, we learned, kol barnash, any man, any person, the ishtadel b'mili daraisa, that puts effort into the words of Torah, v'sivvose mirachshon araisa, and his lips are kind of whispering the words of Torah. V'la'oid ela dehu mekayim alma. Not only that person sustains, keeps the world going. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is happy with him. To the very degree that he was happy when he planted heavens and earth. To plant heavens and to found the earth. Okay? Alright, so let's see what else. Okay, so again, he brings another statement of Chazal. I just don't want to spend too much time on it. So another statement of Chazal, again, that there's a special simcha that the Torah brings, again, as if, Kaviyachal, as before HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's no greater simcha that HaKadosh Baruch Hu feels that he can derive from this world as with the simcha that he gets when people are learning Torah. Ubereish Parshas Shmini, and it's going to the last paragraph of Gimel. Zakoyin Inun Yisrael. How fortunate are Yisrael, the Kuchabrichu Yahav Lana Raisa Kadisha. Because Baruch Hu gave him this holy Torah. Chedvas of the Chol, it's the happiness of everything. Chedvas of the Kuchabrichu, it's the happiness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Va'atayaluso delay, and it's his, pleasure. Just like again, Pasuk the Mishnah says, and I was to him a pleasure each and every day. Okay, so again, so we see this idea again in the Medrash of Parsha Shmini, that there is a special simcha that comes from the Torah. Right. So let's understand this for a second. I'm not sure if I have this picture right, but like what's the point? All right. Meaning, what are we trying to say? I mean, we're just trying to say poetic. Listen, the Torah is so great. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is happy with it. Really, you're rejoicing. You're making God happy. I mean, again, we understand that it's a mashal, right? But why a mashal? We just say, okay, this is what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants. This is what gets you to the higher level, right? What's this mashal specifically that you're making HaKadosh Baruch Hu happy, right? He takes this word and he kisses this word, and his it's a very nice poetic description. And it makes you feel good, and you feel like, wow, I want to be that cute little kid that learns Torah, and it makes his daddy proud, right? That's the picture that is being painted. So the question is, why is that the picture? Okay?
Hashem's perfection, he doesn't need it, he doesn't...
Right, so we know that it's just a mashal, but even in that world of mashal, why that's the mashal that's being used, right? You could say, well, it's really nothing. It's nothing. It's just a mashal for us to be able to appreciate that this is what the Kadosh Baruch Hu really wants from us for our benefit. But this is the thing. So we express it in these fatherly, warm tones to make us appreciate and be inspired to learn Torah because it feels good now. I'm bringing simcha to Hashem. Okay, very nice. Okay, it could be, or maybe there is something more to it, right? Maybe some specifically, why specific simcha? Why happiness? Why satisfaction? Happiness and satisfaction are different things. Why specifically happiness? Right? So again, I'm not saying very heavy things. I'm just expressing what I think he's saying. I think he's saying a relatively simple idea. He started out this chapter by saying that the purpose of creation, right, is fulfilled like by nothing else, like it is fulfilled through the limud of Torah, through the effort that's put into the Torah, right? So the purpose of creation is made through the learning Torah. Each individual that's learning Torah is able to make the entire creation perfected, right? Perfected. So then, therefore, again, in the world of mashal, if we're looking at the HaKadosh Baruch Hu as the creator of the world, who created it for some purpose, right? Who created it for some purpose. So then, and so anybody, right, when you build something and it comes out exactly how you want it to come out, right? You're happy because that's the greatest happiness you could have. You're happy. It's more than just satisfaction. It's happiness. It's joy. I made something. Took me a lot of effort, and it paid off, and it came to that perfection as I intended it, right? So the idea is, we say he's just reiterating that idea. That's what these midrashim are reiterating, is that the reason why we're comparing HaKadosh Baruch Hu to that simcha is to tell you that when a person is learning Torah, he is perfecting the creation. He is perfecting the creation. Again, so then the next question begs, so why is it that specifically the limud Torah is perfecting the creation more so than anything else? Why is it more than me wearing my tzitzis, right? Or me keeping Shabbos? Why is it specifically the the Torah aspect of it. So again, my humble understanding is and again, maybe as we go on we'll see more, but my simple understanding is that the physical world is something that's not fully defined. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Is not something that's not fully defined. So so what do I mean by that? I mean that again, especially talking about chain, right? Chain, I'm not gonna say, but you can have two people do the same action, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can have two people do the same action, but let's say one is your friend and one is your enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and they will do the same action. You see, they come and they give stock. Okay, beautiful action. Two people give it stock, but one is your friend, one is your enemy. You look at your enemy and you're gonna say, "Wow, he's just getting once that tax write-off. I know, he's just because everybody's gonna say thank you to him. This guy, he's just not. This is just another way for him to get his kicks. Okay, a friend gives stock, you say, wow, what a sacrifice. He went. I know what it was like for him, and if he gives stock, wow, he must have, true. This is I know him. He's a sincere guy. He's like right. So again, it's the same action, but they were defined in different ways, right? So each action is mute until it is defined by somebody, right? And so the same thing. The world in a sense can be defined in many different ways, right? That's why Midas Hadin can define the world in one way. Midas Harachamim can define the same world a different way, right? The Torah being the blueprint of creation, it looks into the world in its essence, right? And the more Torah, the more intellectualism, so to speak, the more the ideal, the intellectual picture is presented in this world, right? The more it is defined in its ideal state, right? So the Torah, which is kind of the idealized state of the world, is defining the world in its more idealized state. The more it is learned, the more it is expressed in this world, the more it's brought down into this world, the more it helps this world to be defined in its idealized state, and as a result, it brings simcha to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? It actually, because it changes the nature of the world. It's not just, oh, here's a guy learning Torah. No, here's a guy that's redefining the entire creation according to its ideal that HaKadosh Baruch Hu intended for it. Oh, so the person who's learning the Torah is helping redefine the world to HaKadosh Baruch Hu's ideal. So of course he's going to bring simcha to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because he's returning to that palace, to that king, to the way it was intended to be. So I think that's why it's specifically the Torah brings that simcha more so. Again, really every mitzvah does this to a degree. Every mitzvah is also a definition of the world. Every mitzvah has a certain idea behind it that carries it, but nothing like the Torah, which is Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam, which encompasses all of those things together. So nothing like the Torah is that definitive, I guess, picture of the world. All right. So where do we stand on time? Okay. So let's just start Perek Yudalet, and then we'll have to stop here. Okay. So Perek Yudalet, v'gam ha'olomis v'abriyos kulom heim oz b'chedva soyesera. And so too the worlds and all the creation. Then at that point when this, I guess, new Torah is coming out, they're in this greatest happiness. Unehirin meziv ha'or ha'elin, and they're being lightened, and they're enlightened from the shine of this lofty light. Hashrefeya aleihem emokam shorish elin shel haTorah, that flows upon them from this holy and lofty root of the Torah. Kamashikosav perak mailas haTorah misamech es hamokam misamech es habriya. Somebody who learns Torah lishma, he makes the mokam happy, meaning Kadosh Baruch Hu. Misamech es habriya. Not only does he make Kadosh Baruch Hu happy, he is also making the briyos happy, the creations happy. And so too again the pasuk says, "Ve'yesh ashum yom yom," and I was to HaKadosh Baruch Hu a pleasant thing yom yom, each and every day. right? And again, I think it's the same idea. Why are the Brios happy, right? Why is it, right? Because the Brios, again, are being redefined in a much more idealized form. So not only HaKadosh Baruch Hu is happy with his creation, the Brios are also happy because they're also being uplifted, they're also being redefined. So therefore, the Brios are also benefited. Okay, we'll stop here.